Hi guys! I did it! I'm finally back! I've had an extremely long, unplanned hiatus of many months where I've really missed making videos and I just haven't been able to do it. This is Pet Pet. Pet Pet, want to say hi to everyone? Yeah. There might be dogs walking in and out of this video. So, I just got really overwhelmed with work, and I don't think that I've mentioned on this channel before, but I have fibromyalgia. So I get really fatigued, and I just kind of got into a negative cycle where I couldn't make videos for a long time. And I really missed you guys. And I just wanted to tell you how grateful I am for all of the lovely messages of support and encouragement that I got while I was away. It really, really meant a lot to me and gave me the motivation to keep trying to come back to make more videos. And I'm finally here. I wanted to do a planner lineup since it's almost 2020. I can't believe that. And I've had a lot of changes in my planner lineup, as you can imagine, since April, which is, I think, when I made my last video. So this is an array of planners and journals, which I will show you. These are all things that I'm using right now and will be taking with me into 2020. So we'll start with the planners and then we'll go on to the journal. So these are my planners. And as always, we will start with my cousin, which is my main planner and my work planner. So this is the Scribbles That Matters cover, which they just came out recently, and I absolutely love them. Before that, I'd been using a Salty Katie jelly cover for my cousin, and I love that too, so I think I'm going to be rotating. I'm sorry about the camera angle. I'm not at home, but I really wanted to make this video now because I've got a few days off. So I'll leave this link down below. I got mine from Amazon UK, but they're also available on Amazon.com. So as you know, if you've seen my videos before, this is my work planner, the Hobonichi Cousin, and this is the 5th year that I've been using one. So this is a spring cousin, which means that it runs until the end of March 2020, so I won't be ordering a new one until February, but I will definitely be buying a new one when they come out. So I use this for everything work related, and because I work a lot, that means that this is my main planner. So I put all of my appointments and everything that's time related in here. And then I also use the dailies for work related notes. So the monthlies I just use to write down appointments and to-dos for the upcoming month. And then I use the weekly really as the heart of the planner. This is where I put all of my appointments and all of my to-dos, and then if I run out of space on the weeklies, I move over to the dailies and I put daily to-dos in there. And on days when I don't need a daily, I use those pages for work-related notes, so ideas, projects, meeting notes, anything that's work-related basically goes in here. So I know that everything to do with my job is here, and then I just archive the planner at the end of the year, well, in the end of March, and go on to the next one. So I won't go into detail about this one, but I'll do an updated setup of it in a separate video. So that is my Hobonichi Cousin, which is the heart of my planning system, and the one that if I had to choose just one planner, I would pick this one. Although I don't ever want to have to do that. The dogs are playing in the background. So my next planner is my Hobonichi Weeks, and this is in a planner pouch from Lyra & Co on Etsy. I'll leave her shop link down below. And I just keep it in this usually when I'm traveling, so I put this in my bag just so that it doesn't get squished. So this is in a Salty Katie jelly cover, which I really, really love. I think I have acquired most sizes of the Salty Katie jelly covers over the last year, and I have any planner that will fit in one, basically. I have in one. I really, really like them. So this is the Apple Green Weeks, and I love it because it has this little touch of purple here. And I think of this as tea green. So I actually like the idea of this being a purple cup with green tea in it because I drink a lot of green tea. So that's how I think of it, and that's what I thought of when I first saw it. So I've done a little bit of decoration of this. I've tipped in some vellum, which is one of my new loves of 2019 as well. I just started putting vellum in everything. And I was very pleased to check, for those of you who are vegan and are wondering if vellum is made out of animal skin. It's not. Modern day vellum is just thick paper. So that was good to know. And I decided that my word for 2020 would be rejuvenate, because I've been so worn out and stressed and anxious that I thought I really want to focus on that. And my Hobonichi Weeks is my personal planner. So I've been using a Weeks as a personal planner since 2016. And it's absolutely perfect for me as a personal planner. So basically, I just put in everything that's not work related in this. So I don't put in appointments generally, because I put the appointments all in my cousin just so that I, don't miss things. But I put all of my to-dos in here if they're not work related. So, things like shopping lists and laundry and anything to do with the pets and, things, basically things that are just kind of for my home and personal life. And so last year, 2019, that is, I was doodling and then coloring in the doodles with colored pencils in my weeks. And this year, I decided that I would carry on with the doodles but stop the colored pencils, because I felt like it started to become a bit onerous. It started to feel like a job. And I decided that I would rather just doodle, and I'm really enjoying that. So, just very simple, and I enjoy it. It's it's just something fun to do, but it's not stressful because I can do it in, a few seconds if I don't have a lot of time, and I don't have to worry about coming back later to color them in, and it's just fun. So I use mostly quotes from the Happy Planner, which is where all of the stickers that I use in other planners come from. You'll see in a minute, lots of Happy Planner stickers. So I use the year at a glance just to mark when I've changed the ink in my fountain pen. And I decided to use this yearly spread this year to keep note of various things that I only have to do every few months that I usually forget. So when the dogs have to have their flea medicine and when they have to have their worm medicine, because I always feel at sea with that. I never know when they've had it and, how long it's been. And then things like changing our charcoal filter and stuff. So it's just like a kind of at a glance, which I've never used it for before. And I think that this will really simplify my life. And then I use the monthly spread for tracking orders that are not planner related, because I have a separate planner, which I'll show you in a minute. And then I use the rest of the monthlies to track things like when I've taken medicine and vitamins and things like that. And then the weekly is the heart of the system. And so I just do a bit of doodling, and I just use it for lists, to-dos, shopping lists. Here it was Hanukkah this week, so I just put in a Hanukkah tracker, and I note things down like, let's say if I'm going to get a package delivered and I, want to remember so that I stay in, that kind of thing. And then just general to-dos. And then I also have a daily section, so I just draw these out and I write in to-dos for the day. So this is more like a kind of chronological list if I just feel like there's a lot of stuff going on and I just want to write it all down. I mostly do this in the evening, but sometimes if I'm at home during the day, I'll make a list during the day as well. So this is basically like kind of for more mundane tasks rather than the day-specific things which will go on here. And this is more for things that just have to get done sometime during the week, not on a specific day. And then I also have a section here for lists. So basically anything that's not work-related and that's not planner-related will go in here, like TV shows that I want to watch or websites that I want to remember to check, anything like that. And this is a mega, so I've got lots of room, and it really worked out for me well last year using a mega. So I'm just going to carry on with that. So this is my personal planner. And then we move over to the kind of more specific use planners, I guess. These two are really the only planners that I need for everyday purposes, but I've also got some other planners that I use for specific things, such as planning. So I mentioned that I have a planner, and this I think is my pride and joy. This is my greatest achievement of 2019 in the planner universe, certainly. So in May of 2019, I went to PlannerCon Europe in Brussels, which was amazing, and I had such a good time. And I bought a Leuchtturm B6 Plus monthly planner. And I kind of broke my rule, which I've been trying to follow, of not buying anything unless I have a specific use in mind, because I've been doing pretty well with that rule, but here I just broke it because I fell in love with this planner. I love the color, I love the size, I love the fact that it's a dot grid with numbered pages, and then it has this monthly calendar. I just absolutely love it. It's so beautiful, and I love the font, and I love everything about it, and I've always liked Leuchtturm. So they were also offering free engraving, so I had to do it. And I was just like, okay, I'm buying this, and I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but a use will come to mind. So that was in May, and I had until November to figure out what to do with it. And somehow, at some point, I started using an Amy Tangerine Be Happy Box Happy Planner as a planner. I'd had a happy planner before, I think in 2015, and I really enjoyed it, but I just stopped using it because I felt like at the time, I think maybe I did one book July in 2015, and then I tried to streamline, and it kind of never got brought back into circulation. But because planning is my main hobby, I've always kind of felt like it would be nice to have a planner that's just dedicated to planning, everything planner related, that I can just really have fun with and do some practical things like keeping track of my planner orders, but also do like fun things like just decorate and keep note of planner to-dos and write about planner conundrums that I'm having. So just basically planner related journaling and note keeping. And so that's what I decided to use this for. And I've been doing this since mid-October. So it actually started at the beginning of November, and I started it a bit early, just writing in these blank pages. And so I do a bit of decoration. I put some Happy Planner stickers in for headings and decoration, and then I just write in it. So whenever I have any kind of planner dilemma, or like I want to write a list of my planner lineups, or, like possible ideas for planners that I want to buy, here's a wish list. And then I have an order tracker. Basically, that's what I use it for. That's what this planner is for. And that is why it is called the Planner Planner. So as you can see here, I've really stickerated it quite a bit with planner themed stickers from the Happy Planner. And I have some planner themed vellum. And it's the Planner Planner. So I just absolutely love this planner. It's not necessary. It's just my hobby planner. So I just really enjoy it, and it makes me so happy. And so what I've done for decoration is I custom ordered these covers because annoyingly, I thought this was B6, but it's actually like a couple of millimeters bigger than standard B6, so it doesn't fit any of the normal B6 covers. So I'd ordered a Salty Katie jelly cover for it, and it didn't fit, and I was just gutted because it's just a tiny bit too big. And I am not the sort of person who can deal with trying to cut things down, so I just didn't even consider going down that route. It actually looks really pretty on its own without a cover, and I have used it like that for a while. But then I ordered these custom covers from Hello Happiness on Etsy, which I will link down below because it's an amazing shop, and she has really, really beautiful covers of all different sizes. And she made these two fantastic covers for me, and this is one of them. And they're both planner themed. The other one has llamas and cacti on it, so it's also like planner themed. And then this one has all of these positivity planner quotes, which I just really associate with the planner community. So I absolutely love it. And then I got all of these planner themed charms from various shops on Etsy. So I have, this is a teapot because I drink a lot of tea, and I like to drink tea while I am planning. And this is obviously a planner. And then this is another planner. I have a coffee cup, cactus, and a little llama, and another cup, teacup. So I'm just really, really happy with this because it just is full of plannery goodness. And in the bottom here, I have this planner sticker. This is not sticker, it's a pin, High Tails. And this is from Love by Hobby, also on Etsy. I'll link that down below too. And then this was my crowning achievement of Crafternoon Glory. So I made this from my PlannerCon Europe wristband. It wasn't my idea. I heard somebody else at PlannerCon saying that that they'd been talking to some other attendees who were going to make these into bookmarks, and I thought that was an amazing idea. So I just like put some embroidery thread on the end, and then put some, these are opals, like just rough opals, is a little charm. And then I threaded it onto the Leuchtturm bookmark. So I'm really, really happy with that. And then the pièce de résistance, this is a Hobonichi button. So these are the search and collect buttons that came out this year. And I really like the buttons. So I ordered one of these, and then I attached it to this bookmark, which is also from Hobonichi, that I'm going to be using for tracking videos, hopefully, when I make videos, when I'm planning to make videos. So this is my planner. Best achievement of 2019 in the planner realm, I might say, for myself. And then I have another kind of more specific planner, which you have seen before, and I think some of you have been asking what happened to it since I last made a video about it in April. Well, this is what happened to it. This is called the Fat Hobo, for reasons that I do not need to explain. So this is an A5 5-year Techo, and I started this at the beginning of 2019, and originally I was going to use it as a home planner. So I was going to write down everything that had to do with me and James and the dogs, and, you know, like appointments that we both needed to know about. And it ended up not really working very well for that because it's a daily. So it's kind of hard to see really like kind of, you know, an overview of what's happening. It just wasn't that practical, but I loved decorating it. So you can see I've officially inaugurated it as the Fat Hobo. So it's 2019 to 2023, and I have now completed the first year. So basically what I'm using it is a kind of a catch-all planner / memory planner, I guess, and I just decorate it completely, and I only write on stickers just for fun because it's really fun. And so sometimes I do a color-specific theme for the day, and sometimes I just do lots of rainbow colors, and it's all with Happy Planner stickers. And basically my idea is that I'll start over now for 2020. So you see I've started decorating year 2 of 2020. And by the end of the 5 years, the whole thing will be completely decorated, and it will all be as fat as the top is now. Because right now I've only decorated year 1, so that's what it looks like. But by the time I get down to the end of year 5, the whole thing will look like this. And I'm actually really happy with how it's turned out, because I was worried that it would just explode and, you know, that would be the end of the Fat Hobo. But it's actually survived really well. So this has a whole entire year completely covered in stickers, and the binding has actually remained intact. I did have to glue this recently because it started coming apart quite massively here. So this has all been glued. PVA glue and then super glue, and it seems to be fine now. It's really sturdy and it's all okay, and you can open it and it's totally fine. So I'm kind of relieved that I've survived the first year, because now it's not going to get any fatter, it's just going to get more evenly distributed. So I've got right up until the end of the year here. We're on the 30th of December now, and then for the day after the end of the year, it gives you, well, like at the end, it gives you these 5 pages, blank pages, one for each year. So I've decorated the first one, and I'm just going to write some highlights of the year in here. So I'm going to do that tomorrow on the 31st, which is a ritual that I'm really looking forward to. And then I'll do that at the end of every year. So that's my Fat Hobo. This is in a cover from So What Else Is New, which is amazing, because this is the only cover of all of the very many A5 covers that I have that will fit this with all of its considerable girth. So this is really fortunate. I didn't order it for this. I just had it. It was one of my A5 covers that I've been using for my cousin, and I tried it on this, and it worked, and it kept expanding somehow. It works, like, you know, it's as fat as it is. It's still, it's perfectly suited to it. So that's the Fat Hobo. And then I have one of my new entries for 2020. So this is super exciting. I've always liked the Happy Planner, and I like the disc system, but I've always been a bound planner person at heart. And so when I saw that the Happy Planner had finally come out with bound planners, I was like, oh my goodness, this is my dream come true, because I am a sucker for a bound planner, and I really like the Happy Planner designs. So I had to try them. So this is the horizontal Pastel Dreams planner, and I got this because I thought that it would work well as a home planner. So up until now, for 2019, I've had a home planner, but it's been a Happy Planner, standard disc-bound dashboard layout in the classic size. And that has been good, but I always felt like it didn't really need to be on discs. I always feel like with the discs that for me, they're kind of a missed opportunity because generally I don't move a lot of stuff around. I don't punch stuff and put it in. I just kind of use them as if they were a bound planner. And so really it takes up a lot of space, and I feel like the discs kind of, make it chunkier than it needs to be. And I always wish that Happy Planner would come out with a bound planner, and now they have. So this seemed like the perfect thing to switch to. So what I've done here is I've just decided that I'll kind of lightly decorate it and then put in appointments that are to do with me and James that we both need to know about. So I kind of pre-decorate it just so that there's some color on the page, and then I'll just write in, whatever it is, and just kind of have a bit of fun, but it's also practical. So we call it the J Hub because this is where I put in stuff that like kind of James needs to know. So again, I'm using this vertical spread, which I love that they include, by the way. I'm using this to note down anything that we need to remember that relates to both of us. So basically like kind of the medicine for the dogs and vet appointments and that kind of thing. So here in the monthly dashboard, I've just put in some nice stuff that we want to do during the month. And our birthdays because they're both in January. And so that's how I'm going to be using this. So I'm really excited about this because I really like the color scheme. It's like a kind of, sort of pastel rainbowy colors. And I just think that it's beautiful. It has all the nice Happy Planner designs, but it's a bound book. So it's much more compact. And I just really, really like the fact that it's bound. So that is the J Hub or the home planner. And then we move on to the last planner, which is a mini Happy Planner. And this one is a little bit Frankenplan. So this is a cover from a mini Happy Planner that I had a few years ago. I think it was 2016 or 2017, probably 2017. And I was using it for a budget tracker, like an expense tracker. And I kept the covers. And so I have sort of put a whole bunch of different inserts inside it that I like. So these inserts are the Glam Girl Mini daily filler pages, which is kind of a funny choice for me because I am not at all a glam girl sort of person. Of the Planner Girl line, the one that I really like is Planner Babe. Unsurprisingly. The Glam Girl has never appealed to me, but I really liked these inserts because they're purple, and purple is my favorite color, and also because it's hourly, and I really like being able to map out the day. So I usually use this like just on kind of random days, usually when I'm at home, because then, I can have all of my planners spread out around me while I'm working, and so I just use it to kind of map out the hourly, and then I write in like the top things that I want to do for the day, and if I have to talk to anybody, like if I have a Skype meeting or something, and I use it for that. And then I've got some notes pages in the back, and then I also got the Planner Babe Mini, and that was really because I wanted to try a vertical mini. I had always dreamed of a vertical mini, and then when Happy Planner came out with them, I was just like, oh my goodness, I want to try this. I really like the idea of a vertical mini. So I wasn't sure what to do with this, and I finally decided last night, which is like kind of the nick of time because it's right before 2020 starts. This is a 2020 dated planner. I decided to use it as a health tracker. So I've never had a health tracker before, and I often wonder, like, it would be nice to kind of see a chart of like, how much like pain I was in on a given day, and if there are any patterns to it, and like fatigue and sleep and that kind of stuff. So I thought that I would start tracking those things in this, and because it's in the same planner as the dailies, which I already use, it's perfect because it means that I don't have to add another physical book to my lineup. Because as you can see, I've already got quite a few of those on the go. So that's what I'm using this for. And now we move over from the planners to the journals. So I have a few different journals. some of them I've already been using and some of them are kind of new additions. So this is the Hobonichi English planner, the A6 size, and I've been using this for actually more than a year now because I started using the notes pages before the planner kicked in at the beginning of January. But I've been using this for a whole year and the whole thing is completely filled except for 2 days, today and tomorrow. So I use this just as a kind of general journal for anything that's troubling me, problems that I want to work out. It's kind of like a CBT journal. So for kind of trying to turn around problems and things that I'm worrying about, because I worry a lot. So I have anxiety, and I write things down in here if I'm worrying about them and feeling like kind of really panicked about them. And then I try to like kind of use CBT methods to turn them around and come up with a positive solution by the end of the page. And I find that it works really well for that because it's A6, so it's not daunting and I can do it every day. I almost always fill this in at night. And it's just like a kind of nice reward at the end of the day. And, you know, if I feel like I've got like worries that I don't want to, you know, keep overnight, I just like sort them out in this. And the fact that I know that I have to kind of come up with something positive by the time I get to the end of the page is really helpful. So that's what this is for. And this is the lace cover from Hobonichi, which I absolutely love. So I'm going to be starting a new one of these in 2 days' time, which I'm super excited about. So I got the Steif version because I like the little bear, and it's completely blank and I'm totally excited. I can't wait to start it. And I'm basically just going to keep using one of these every year, I think, because it's worked really well for me. This was the first year that I used it and it's been a huge success. When I first started, I hadn't done any journaling since I was like 13. And I was nervous that it would be too much of a commitment and it would feel like a burden and I wouldn't be able to keep up with it and I would have a lot of blank pages, but it actually hasn't been at all. There's not a single blank page in this, which just means that it's really kind of been easy to incorporate into my daily schedule. So I love it. And I'm just going to switch out the insides for the same cover, but I have a lot of A6 covers, so I'm going to like kind of rotate them once a week. So I get to use all of them. So that's my journal. And then this is a new edition, which I haven't shown you before because I bought this at PlannerCon Europe and I haven't made a video since then. So this is from the Let's line, which is owned by Filofax, or Let's and Filofax are like jointly owned. And this is called the Let's Plan Forever. So this is really cool. This is a bit smaller than an A5, but kind of closer to an A5 than any other size, I guess. So this is it compared to the Leuchtturm. So inside the cover, it kind of doesn't look that much bigger than the B6, but without the cover, it's like a little bit bigger than B6. So it doesn't fit any standard covers either, which is kind of annoying. But fortunately, it's a hardback, and so it works on its own. So this is a really cool concept, I think. This is an undated daily. It's dated, but it's not like dated by year. So basically it just has the date and it's a daily. So it's got a page per day, but you can use it over as many years as you want. So I thought when I bought this, that this would have all kinds of cool applications. So you could use it as a daily planner. And then, you know, you could use it for as many years as it had blank space. And then every year you could come back to the same day and see what you'd been doing the previous year. I thought that that would be a really fun use for it. But what I decided to use it for in the end is to note down a memorable thing that happened on that day in the year, and then basically just keep coming back to it every year. So I only started this, I think I started using it for that purpose maybe sometime in September, and I don't write something down every day. I only write it down when it's something that kind of seems noteworthy enough to put in here. And then I write down the year. So everything so far has been 2019. And then I'll just go through the year, and whenever there's something memorable, write it down and put the year in. And then we'll be able to use this for, you know, I don't know, potentially like 15 years or whatever, which I think will be really cool because when it's all filled up, we'll have a whole planner's worth of interesting memories from over the decades. So that's what I'm going to use this for. I got that idea from my friend, Ali Penny on Instagram, who she also has, she has a planner Instagram, and I was with her at PlannerCon Europe when I saw this, and she gave me that idea. So thanks to Ali Penny for that. And then I have my A6 5-year Techo from Hobonichi, and I've been using this since 2018. So I've actually been using it for 2 years now, and I'm going to be going into the 3rd year. So this is the same as the A5 5-year Techo, but it's A6 size. And I've been using this to note down the highlights of the day. So on the left, I write the things that happen during the day. And then on the right, I write some things I'm grateful for that happened during the day or some highlights of the day. And so I've been doing this for 2 years now. And as you can see, I just write with pen, but I've been rotating colors. So it's kind of rainbowtical. So basically, as the year goes on, it's sort of been using different colors. And then in year 2, I've been using like kind of the next color in the rainbow from that one. So it's this page is purple for year 1, and then red for year 2, and then year 3 will be orange here. So by the time it's done, after 5 years, I'll be able to flick through, and the whole thing will be this like beautiful kaleidoscope of rainbow colors. That's the idea. So this, again, I was nervous about when I initially started. I started this in January 2018. And I was afraid maybe I wouldn't be able to keep up with it, but it's actually really, really quick. It only takes a couple of minutes. And then I've got all of these cool memories, because often I write down mundane things that happen during the day that I wouldn't necessarily remember. And then when I've been coming back to it this year on the same day, I've been like, oh, it was a year ago today that we did X. And sometimes it is something that I actually remember, but I just don't remember exactly when it happened. And other times it's something that I'd totally forgotten about, and it's really nice to have a reminder. So I just love the concept of the 5-year Techo, because I think it's a great way to be able to like kind of plan and memory keep at the same time. And so I'm really looking forward to starting over with year 3. And this is the Bloom cover that comes in a set from Hobonichi with the 5-year Techo. And I absolutely love it. It's perfectly designed to fit the 5-year Techo, and this has been another great success story of mine over the last couple of years. So it's going into its 3rd year now. And then we have the final planner in the lineup, and this is another A5 5-year Techo. And I kind of broke another planner rule that I have when I bought this, which is not to use the same planner for more than one thing, as in not to buy 2 copies of the same planner. I'd rather, because I have so many different planners and I love trying out different planners, I'd rather use something different rather than like the same thing. So as in like, I don't want to have 2 A6 Hobonichis, if that makes sense. You know, like I want to have everything be different. But the reason that I decided to do this was because the other A5 5-year Techo is the Fat Hobo, and it's covered in stickers, and it actually has a very different feel because it's so chunky and so stickerated that I kind of had sort of always yearned for just like a nice chunky A5 planner that goes for 5 years, but is doesn't have any stickers in it and is just used with pen. And so that's why I decided to make an exception to my rule and to try another A5 Techo, 5-year Techo, because I feel like it will have a totally different feel because I'm not going to decorate this. So this is a new one that is starting on the 1st of January, so 2 days from now, and I'm really excited about getting to start using it. I've been waiting for ages since it arrived, so I put another one of these search and collect buttons from Hobonichi here, and I just tipped in some vellum of a snail, which is a kind of reminder to me that it's like okay to go slowly and not be able to do everything. And I'm going to use this for a combination of different things that I have been doing, but in different planners and kind of sporadically. So basically, I'm going to use this for all kinds of different positivity tricks. So like if I'm feeling down or if I'm worrying or panicking, one thing that I've quite often done, but I've done them in various different planners, which kind of haven't been like systematic, is I will write down a list of all of those things that I'm worried about as if they've been sorted. So it's kind of like a visualization technique. So, you know, like let's say I'm worried about not being able to finish writing this article. So I'll say article written, article submitted, etc. And I just make a list of the things, and then that really helps me to feel better about it. I feel kind of like I've sent the message out. It's being taken care of. I don't have to worry about it anymore. And then another thing that I want to use it for is lists of recharging activities. So, you know, often I'll forget to kind of do recharging activities, and then I'll just kind of get into a big panic. And so if I can say things like, like go for a coffee, listen to music, watch a planner video, I'm going to make a list during the day, and then I can kind of check back over it as needed during the day. And then I'm also going to use it for lists of accomplishments that I've done during the day. So this is something that I started doing this year. And I found it to be really helpful. I don't have the book with me. It was my original Hobonichi, so not the English A6, but the original version, the Japanese A6, which I've been using for kind of different things over the year. So that's a separate topic. That's like a kind of planners that sort of worked and sort of didn't work for me over the year. And I think that is the main one, actually, that I bought for a specific purpose, and then I ended up not using it for that. I was going to use it for morning journaling, and then I realized that nothing can make me wake up 15 minutes earlier, not even the promise of getting to write in a planner. And I started using it for various different things over the year. So at the moment, that original is kind of like my planner that I just use when I want to try something out. And it runs until the end of March. It's a spring version, so I've still got a couple more months in it, 3 more months. And I think I'll just use it for daily planning until it runs out. But I started writing my accomplishments of the day, and it really helped because often I kind of finish the day feeling like, oh, I haven't got enough done, like I got up too late, I didn't do all these things. And so I started writing down all the things that I did during the day, and that really helped me to kind of feel more like, okay, I have done stuff actually. And I really like that. And again, it doesn't take a lot of time. It only takes a couple of minutes, but it's just a really helpful exercise. So I'm going to use it for that as well. And then finally, I'm going to use it for writing down things that I'm looking forward to, either that morning, if I manage to get up with a couple of minutes to spare, which is rarely the case, or the night before. So to write down like, tomorrow I'm looking forward to da-da-da-da-da. And just a list of things like, cuddling the pets, going to Starbucks, seeing my friend, and all of this like kind of small things that I'm looking forward to during the day that just kind of gives me a positive way to start thinking about the day. And all of those things will fit in here, because if I use like say there's like kind of about 10 lines on here. So if I divide it into columns and I have like 4 columns, I can write accomplishments here, things I'm looking forward to there, the kind of positive visualizations here, and then recharging activities here. And so this is going to be kind of like a workbook, like a sort of working positivity notebook. And I think it will be really nice having this over the 5 years, because then I can see how things have evolved. So, like, oh, this is what I was worried about last year, and that worked out totally fine. So there was really no need to worry. That's the kind of thing that I am hoping to be able to do with it. And I know from like kind of previous notebooks that I've used for that purpose that it is really reassuring to be able to see the things that I was worried about like several months ago and how, they turned out to be nothing. And it kind of helps you to like sort of build up this like positive, idea about like how maybe the things that I'm worried about now aren't actually going to turn out to be as terrible as I'm afraid of. So, and also to give me ideas for like, if I write a list of recharging activities here, the next year I could see like, oh, that was a good idea. I should do that again. So I think having the 5-year spread is really, really useful. It's a very practical tool. And so that's why I just want to use this without any decoration, except for obviously the ubiquitous vellum. But I just want to be able to write in it and, not worry about how it looks, because I've got other planners that, I like to decorate, and just use it as a positivity tool. So that is what I'm going to use this for, and I can't wait to start it finally. This is a cover from Christine Shepherd, an Etsy shop based in the UK, which I will leave linked down below. I'll try to leave all of the covers and accessories linked down below if I can manage. So basically, that is my lineup going into 2020. So I've got 4 journals, but really only one of them is an actual like kind of writing in sentences journal. The rest of them are just lists and, kind of recordings of individual activities. And then I've got a few sort of niche planners. I've got the Fat Hobo, the Planner, and the Daily Planner / Health Tracker. And then I've got the Home Planner, the J-Hub, Personal Planner, and the Cousin. So quite a lot of books, which is how I like it. But I feel like it's a system that works for me, and each one has its purpose, and I really love all of them, and there's a nice mix of decorative and functional planners and journals in here. So thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm really sorry to have been gone for a long time, and I'm hoping to be back now making videos more regularly. And thank you again for all the support. It really means so much to me. I really, really appreciate it. I hope that you have a wonderful start to 2020, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.